Today is day 91, and I'm sitting back outside. I'm filming this one with the back camera to see if that changes the dynamic at all. And I've been listening to a lot of Wayne Dyer and reading a lot of Wayne Dyer as well. I feel a deep resonance with him, and I've never really explored any of his writing before. I've always kind of been aware of him, but I've never really dove too deep on who he is, what he's about. And I'm reading it and I'm like, whoa, this man is deeply connected to me. The book that I'm starting with is I Can See Clearly Now. And the purpose of the book is to look at all of his life. He's writing it in his 70s and he's going through moments in time that now he can see clearly were divinely orchestrated. And I have this similar sense for everything that happens is divine in some way. And it fills you with a lot of peace, but sometimes I forget it. And this book is an amazing reminder because it's very rare that somebody goes to the end of their life and they have put in chronological order the moments of their life and how they make sense to the grand picture that is their unique symphony. And I'm really inspired by Wayne. I'm really inspired by how he went about living his life, and I'm very grateful that somebody like him has existed. And so I went on a long walk today, and I listened to him give a lecture in Austin, probably one of his last lectures that he's ever given, and it was recorded almost 10 years before. And it's just him talking and talking and talking for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And I loved it. The stories, the insights, the wisdom. He's clearly just a guy who devoted his life to love and following his inner voice. And I would like to be remembered the same way. And I would like to live a life that embodies those principles as well. So it was really cool to discover him in this moment of my life, in this season of my life, as a new guide to draw from and somebody to be inspired by. It's like the mentors that you're supposed to have will find you at the appropriate time. Always. And so if you pick up a book and it's not calling to you, it's not speaking to you, and you've tried and you've persisted, and there's no voice in your head that's telling you should continue, just drop it. I give you full permission. I give you full permission to put down the book that's not calling you. And it's one thing that often happens to me with reading is I start reading and then I figure out that this book isn't for me. And then I stopped reading. I stopped reading that book, and then I stopped reading altogether because I don't have another book waiting. But then there's some moments when one book grips me so much that I can't put it down and I never want it to end. And I Can See Clearly Now by Wayne Dyer is one of those books that I can't put down. And I believe if you want to be a reader, it's important to have a book waiting on deck, waiting to be read, that in case this one is a flop, you just go on to the next one. Yeah. I think I'm going to end up reading a lot of Wayne stuff. And he's already in just a few days of going deep has really transformed my life. So I'm excited to really dive deep. And it seems like I'm looking at his catalog in reverse, meaning I'm starting with one of his last books, and I'll probably make my way back and see how his work has developed over the years. It's cool learning about how he was booked on The Tonight Show for one of his first big media appearances, and he goes and it's with a guest who is filling in, and they can't air it because of the vice president giving a speech at the time, so he goes back to record another, and then they can't air it for another reason, and then the regular host comes back, I think Johnny Carson, and he does an interview with Johnny Carson, and this all happens in a week, and they air all the interviews the following week, and so he went from having no national presence at all to all of a sudden in a 5-day span having 3 appearances on one of the most watched shows. And I just find stories like that so fascinating, because you hear that initial news of, oh, we can't air your piece, and it's easy to get bummed out by that and be upset, and then it happens again and you go, what is going on? And then you actually get all the benefit of all the appearances. And it's like the universe knew what it was doing the entire time, and you were doubting. Or maybe you weren't. And that's the beauty of this book, is it removes the doubt from all of the things you experience. And it reminds you that they are perfectly placed for your unfoldment, for your greatest good. And to trust a little more, because God's got your back, and you have absolutely nothing to worry about. That's all for me today. I love you. I hope you're doing great, and I'll see you in the next one.